It was an interesting ad that you came out with yesterday. I'm wondering, how much direction did you have into that? How much input did you have into that?
Pretty much all of it. I mean, I had some very talented people working on bringing it to life, but I think there was a powerful story in it. A relevancy to it, what's going on right now, and kind of look into the mindset I have going into this year. There's obviously certain chapters that we've gone through, good and bad. But every opportunity you have to look forward about what you're going to do next is pretty empowering. So I'm excited about the opportunity that's in front of me individually and us as a team. So kind of brought that to life, and I was representing the Bay Area.
So that was your decision not to hide or run from what happened in the finals. Is that your idea?
Yeah. There's no perfect journey in any situation, so to try to sweep stuff under the rug or try to paint a picture that's not necessarily 100% accurate, I think it's doing, whoever's kind of following our journey a disservice, because I think it's a very empowering story to whoever's listening, but most of the next generation, that you love to win every game, you love to play your best every game, you love to never feel failure, but that's not necessarily going to happen to anybody, really. So what you can control is how hard you work, how you move on, and literally, like, what are you going to do next? Kind of mentality.
I know it's a long season, but how important do you think it is to set the tone right with the season opener, and how you guys come out and show as a team?
I don't want to get too wrapped up in like sending messages, game one, and this and that. For us, we have to set the tone of how we're going to handle home court. Obviously, that's a big factor throughout the regular season and in the playoffs. So we have an opportunity, one of 41 games at home. We should hopefully start off with a win. That's the plan. There's going to be growing pains throughout this whole season. And some you might see as like glaring issues, some to the eye might not appear as issues that we feel like we need to work on as we go through it. But we want to try to hopefully learn those lessons in the process of winning, especially at home.
Regarding Ethan's questions, can facing up to it and just putting it right out there, the failures of the past, can that be kind of helpful, therapeutic, or close to trying to just sweep everything?
You just got to be real with yourself. Like, I've done that the whole summer, really. Acknowledge I didn't, like talking about last year, like we didn't perform the way we wanted to for a lot of reasons. So at the end of the day, like I said, what are you going to do next? They said call it therapeutics, mostly just a motivation to not let that define what happens this year. Granted, we may or may not win a championship this year. That doesn't necessarily change my mentality right now and how I'm going to approach this year and trying to get the most out of it. And I think that's what the message was in the whole. Not taking away from what anybody else has accomplished, because that's amazing accomplishments. But this is another year for us to hopefully write a great chapter in the total storybook. So we wanted to give it all we got.
How far has this group come in a matter of 3 weeks or so, and Kevin getting kind of acclimated into the system?
I mean, we've made strides. Mostly, I think defensively, our offensive schemes will grow just naturally by we don't run that many sets. And so there's a familiarity every time you get out there, where to be, when to cut, when to screen. That'll continue to develop. But defensively, it's more just an identity and a way that we're going to get that side of the ball or execute on that side of the ball. And get comfortable with the different personnel, not just Kevin, but obviously D-West and Zaga and JaVale and Patrick. So we've made strides in that department.
describe that identity on defense?
There's a lot of responsibility on individual defense, but it has to be a tenacity and an intensity that utilizes the strengths that we have as a team, our length and our speed, our IQ defensively, and we have shot blockers, but I think the majority of the time we know we can't rely on breakdowns being erased by somebody that's playing up the rim. You got to have a detailed focus on keeping the ball in front of you, keeping your man in front of you, not giving up easy possessions to whoever offense we're playing. And like I said, we have a lot of talented individual defensive players on the ball, off the ball, and just putting it all together.
Is there a part of you